We can call this clip, okay, log buildings that I have known and I have built. This one is still standing on Lake Athapascal, just close, very, very close to Cranberry Portage. And these buildings are not built just overnight. All the scribing is done by hand. The trees are peeled by hand. Then the scribing is all done with a special scribing device. And the logs overlap one another, and the grooves in between the logs as they sit one on top of the other is filled with fiberglass insulation, and then seaming put on each side to prevent water or insects getting into the seaming. And the logs are put down in such a way that when you put down one butt end, then on the other side the butt end goes down on the opposite side to keep the structure of the whole building looking fairly level. And the corners are notched, and the design on this is called the Scandinavian saddle notch design. There are other ways that people build log buildings today, various structures, but this was one that kind of I chose as one that I could do. But every step of the way, it takes patience, it takes planning, it takes a tremendous amount of very, very hard work. That picture that you saw way back in one short clip about my chainsaw, that chainsaw used to walk the walls as I did one log from another. And of course you put the heavier and biggest logs at the bottom and work up slowly to the top. So you're not lifting heavy stock and heavy wood way up to the top or whatever. And that chainsaw, I would walk the walls of a building, running that chainsaw, taking care of it every 4 or 5 hours, completely dismantling the saw and doing a re-greasing on it, sharpening the chain, and so on. So it takes a lot of time, a lot of planning, a lot of commitment, and of course being very, very careful every step of the way. Here's another building that I built in Cranberry Portage. This one was on the shores of First Cranberry Lake in Cranberry Portage, just a mile or two out of the main town. This building I lived in for quite a few years as I progressed in building from one part of the structure to another. Now, one of the things I say, this building is no longer standing because I have a saying, and it goes like this. You may not like this, that everybody likes and wants a log building, but not everybody deserves to have a log building. And that sounds kind of brutal and whatnot, but it's true. You've got to look after these buildings. You've got to maintain them. You've got to watch out for where cracks are opening up and reseal and do all kinds of things like that. So they're very, very high maintenance, and you've got to be able to do this and know what the situations are. And in my opinion, there's probably only about 1 or 2 people out of 100,000 or 200,000 people that can actually do this type of work and then keep these buildings in good repair and keep them operational, because it's like anything else. Our vehicles need maintenance, our bodies need maintenance, and our buildings and our houses need maintenance as well. So it's a full cycle of doing maintenance on what we have at a steady rate, knowing when to change oil in vehicles and doing all sorts of things like that, looking after everything properly and storing everything properly. So this is one picture of another building that I built. I built probably, in my time, probably 5 or 6 log buildings and things like that. Totally enjoyed it every step of the way. But like I said, it takes time, it takes special planning, it takes patience to do something like this. It's definitely not something that's done just overnight. And this collage of pictures, okay, is put together from the building that I actually lived in Cranberry Portage, right on Lakeshore for a while. Different scenes of different parts of the building taken. Staircase shown there going up into the top layer of the building. The ones at the very, very bottom show a second level up top, close to the ridgepole and where the rafters are. And shots from outside and various angles inside, one from the distance of the lake, one toward the lake, and so on. So I planned my deck. You can take a look at the deck on the outside, that I put 2 trees right amongst the deck growing out, appearing to come from the deck and whatnot. A couple on the lower left-hand side show the other building that's in Cranberry Portage that I showed you in the first shot. But yeah, just take a moment to look at this and see. You can see the butt ends of some of those logs sticking out, and most of them basically you cannot lift by hand. You have to have a tractor that's able to do the lifting of these logs, and on what they call a snare wire, where they quickly hook up these logs one to another so they can be safely lifted and swung around. And of course you've got to be very, very careful that none of this stuff comes down on top of you, because just one smack and that would be the end. Game over and project over and finished and done with. So yeah, enjoy this picture. Now just leave it on the screen for a few more seconds or a minute or so for you to take a look at.